Vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid. It wasn't until 1937 that an Hungarian chemist, Albert, discovered this chemical. Vitamin C is an essential nutrient widely recognized for its antioxidant properties. Today we will see how it affects our immune cell function and helps boost our immunity. A very interesting thing about vitamin C is that most animals can synthesize it on their own, but humans cannot. We must obtain it from our diet or through supplements. When we talk about dietary sources, you might automatically first think of citrus fruits such as oranges and lemons, but vitamin C is also found in other fruits and veggies such as kiwis, cabbage, bell peppers, strawberries, papayas, etc. Now, red cabbage particularly packs in 85% of the recommended intake. Fortunately, many of the best dietary sources of vitamin C can be consumed raw. Vitamin C is heat unstable. It can be easily destroyed by excessive exposure to heat, water or air, and you need to consume it immediately after cutting or peeling it. Avoid cooking. Animal meat is a poor source of vitamin C. Recommended dietary allowance. It varies according to the age, sex and lifestyle of a healthy individual. Vitamin C requirements are fairly average in infancy. They decrease slightly during childhood and they peak again in early adulthood. Pregnancy and lactation, there is of course increased vitamin C requirement. RDA for healthy men is 90 mg per day. For women, it's 75 mg per day. During pregnancy and lactation, it ranges from 85 to 120 mg per day. At the other end of the recommendation is the tolerable upper intake limit, which is set at 2000 mg per day. People who are avid smokers, consume alcohol, or patients with specific medical conditions are very vulnerable to oxidative stresses. Hence, they have higher vitamin C requirements. A study showed that patients with chronic renal failure, a single session of dialysis can reduce the patient's plasma vitamin C level to half their pre-dialysis levels. The absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of vitamin C is complex. It differs quite a bit from other low molecular weight compounds. Vitamin C is present in our body in two forms, either its reduced state, that is ascorbate, or its oxidized state, which is dihydroascorbic acid. This undergoes frequent intracellular recycling back to its reduced state. Oral vitamin C is absorbed in the small intestine primarily by sodium-dependent vitamin C transporters and to a lesser extent by glucose-dependent transporters. Absorption of vitamin C is dose-dependent and it is subjected to transporter saturation. Any genetic variation affects vitamin C absorption. Upon absorption of vitamin C, it enters the plasma and then it is widely distributed amongst the body tissue. Tissue concentration varies. It is highest in the adrenal and pituitary gland and brain, and it is lower in the heart, muscle and kidneys. Vitamin C is metabolized in the liver to various intermediate molecules that can enter the pentose phosphate pathway for further degradation. Then vitamin C is accumulated in the kidney and excreted in the urine. Urinary excretion is directly proportional to plasma concentration. Oxalate, which is the end product of vitamin C metabolism, is usually filtered out and excreted in the urine. But when very high amounts of oxalate is present in our bodies, it can form crystals with calcium and lead to kidney stones. However, the incidence is very low. It is rare in most healthy individuals and it is more likely in people with pre-existing impaired kidney functions. Bioavailability. It is the fraction of the administered drug that reaches the systemic circulation unexchanged. This depends upon the route of administration and the dose. We should measure the plasma concentration of the drug to know about the bioavailability. The concentration of vitamin C is 200 mg per day, either from food or supplements, will have a plasma concentration of 70 micromoles per liter of blood. Oral vitamin C is available in two forms, either the free form or the liposomal form. Liposomal form is a drug preparation that contains the active drug in a lipid bilayer molecule. It is far superior in terms of bioavailability when compared with the free form. On the other hand, the intravenous vitamin C bypasses the intestinal absorption, which indicates that the bioavailability of intravenous vitamin C is potentially 30 to 70 times higher than the oral form. Vitamin C is also known as a potent antioxidant. Now, what does this mean? Oxidation is a normal process of a body that occurs as a result of daily cellular activities such as exercise, digestion, and external factors such as pollution, smoking, radiation, and medications. These activities produce free radicals and reactive oxygen species, which are highly reactive and unstable because of presence of unpaired electrons in their outer shell. These free radicals can cause oxidative stress, and they can react with our healthy cells to steal electrons. This may damage our proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid when these radicals are present in excess. Antioxidants such as vitamin C act as free radical scavengers and donate free electrons to counteract the oxidative stress, enhance repair and our immune function, to promote healthy aging. Vitamin C is very critical for immune defenses, both innate and adaptive immune response. As we know, neutrophils are the most abundant WBCs in our body. They play a vital role in rapid first-line response to any invaders. Activated neutrophils employ 3 key killing strategies. First is engulfment or gobbling up of the microbes, also known as phagocytosis. Second is degranulation, which involves release of packets of enzymes which attack the microbes. This is like pouring hot boiling water on the pathogens, crude but effective. This unfortunately causes collateral damage to the neutrophils and they self-destruct. Last strategy is the neutrophil extracellular trap, a very recent discovery in 2004. Once neutrophils self-sacrifice, then they spew out DNA traps to kill the pathogens. Without neutrophils, we cannot fight infections. While neutrophils are at work, they produce highly reactive oxygen species and free radicals. This causes collateral damage. Vitamin C is important to reduce the oxidative stress and protect the neutrophils. Coming to the lymphocytes, these are the immune cells that contribute to production of antibodies. Vitamin C is known to enhance the differentiation and proliferation of B and T lymphocytes. It is also known to prevent apoptosis or programmed cell death of these cells. Vitamin C helps in increasing the levels of 3 main classes of antibody immunoglobulins such as IgG, IgA, and IgM. Natural killer cells are also considered as lymphocytes. They mainly act by cytotoxic activity, that is, they punch holes and release cytoplasmic granules and kill the pathogens. Vitamin C helps in increasing the production and expansion of these cells, also enhances the cytotoxic activity and helps these cells to chase and kill the tumor cells. Therefore, it helps to prevent cancer metastasis. Macrophages are a pivotal component of innate immunity. Intracellular concentration of vitamin C modulates their migration, distinct gene expression, and also stimulates phagocytosis and clearance of macrophages. Vitamin C participates in multiple biological processes and pathways. It acts as an enzymatic cofactor that binds to an enzyme and assists in biosynthesis of collagen, catecholamines, which is an important neurotransmitter for fight or flight response, as well as carnitine that is critical for energy production. Vitamin C also helps in wound healing, and high doses of vitamin C have been administered in cancer patients as an adjunct to other treatment to help increase the survival time and improve the quality of life. Also helps in improving the hemodynamics and microcirculation. The infamous scurvy. It is a condition associated with severe vitamin C deficiency, which was seen in sailors in the 15th to 18th century, when long sea voyages made it hard to get a steady supply of fresh produce. Modern cases of such severe vitamin C deficiency are very rare. Common risk factors include poor diet, alcoholism, smoking, patients undergoing dialysis. To remember the signs and symptoms of vitamin C deficiency, remember this mnemonic: Harry sings at JD Studios.